carry on with the show. The Twitter handles will also be displayed as we continue. Let's now start off with The Standard. And this morning, the headline on The Standard is Uhuru's hand in Raila's top post. And of course, we do know after we had the Mashujaa celebrations, one of the key or the highlights of the celebration day in Uhuru's speech was basically when he brought it to light that Raila Odinga had been appointed, and Raila, of course, also came out to accept and say that indeed he had been appointed by the AU on a new post, and he had accepted that particular post. Let me start with you, Michael Agwanda, on Uhuru's hand in Raila's new post. In fact, the president was on record as saying that if we still had the bickering that we had before, then this would not have been realized.
Good morning, viewers, and good morning, Michael. Just before I answer this question, you had asked me how my weekend was.
Yes.
And I happened to have been in Tanzania this last week and the weekend. And Mike, I need to tell Kenyans that Kenyans are suffering in Tanzania. And I really think Kenyans are not liked in Tanzania. And the tragedy we went through in every roadblock, because we had a Kenyan number plate, every roadblock we had to be stopped and bribes were demanded from us. In a function I went to, Kenyans, teachers, are being chased away from Tanzania. Kenyans who have valid work permit, literally valid work permit, are being told that their permit are not halali. And for that reason, they are constantly being bribed and they're living under the rock, literally in fear in Tanzania. I think our authority need to take up. I talked to one of the senators who was in that function, and he said he might take up this matter because Kenyans are being chased from Tanzania and they're not given a working environment.
And is it as a result of some form of xenophobia?
I think so. But then when we're talking about the integration of East African community, Michael, you do not want to find Kenyans paying about $1,500 literally to get a work permit for a year, but they still have to pay another $1,500 on top of that as a bribe to the immigration officers in Tanzania. And so they're being targeted. I talked to one of the officials of the consul in Kampala, and they said in Tanzania, and they said literally their hands are tied. They don't know how to help Kenyans. Kazungu Kambi this matter has been reported to Kazungu Kambi, who is not interested. In fact, the leadership of Kenyans living in a community there went to Kazungu Kambi, our ambassador to Tanzania, and he is not interested in helping our people. So I really think that the government need to get into this. Every stop of the way was stopped, and even if we had everything valid, they will still find something. In fact, at one point, we were even taken to the police when we now say, this is too much, you are targeting us. And I talked to one of the East African Legislative Assembly, Kenyan representative of the Assembly and Parliament, and he actually said this matter was discussed two weeks ago in the East of Yola Parliament, that Kenyans are being targeted. And I really think it is important that our government take this matter seriously. Tanzanians don't like Kenya.